I am Chuck Baldwin, and I am running for President of the United States on the Constitution Party ticket. I did not ever envision that this would be what God would have for me to do. I didn't see it coming. I did not pursue it. I was not trying to position myself for this or anything of that nature. I've always believed, however, that the job seeks the man, not the other way around. And in the economy and sovereignty of God, He chose that I would be the representative of the Constitution Party this year, and I'm proud to do that. I feel that our party is the party that if George Washington and Thomas Jefferson and yes, Robert E. Lee and Stonewall Jackson were alive today, it's the party that they would be a member of. We are the party that believes that we believe in the Constitution of the United States. We believe that unless we return to constitutional government, the freedoms and the liberties that we have enjoyed in this country will not longer exist. And I personally believe that we as a country are this close to losing our freedoms, our independence, our national sovereignty, our national identity. I believe that we are very, very close to seeing all of that disappear. I'm very concerned about my children and my grandchildren. I have 3 children. My wife and I have been married for 35 years. We just celebrated our 35th anniversary a few weeks ago. We have 3 children, a girl and 2 boys. They have given us 6 grandchildren so far. And I look at them and I see what kind of future is in store for them. And quite frankly, I'm a little nervous about what kind of country they're going to grow up in. What kind of country are they going to have? What kind of freedoms are they going to know? And I really believe that every generation of Americans must preserve the freedom and the liberty that we've been given in order for the next generation to inherit those freedoms and those liberties. And the very first generation of Americans that decides that the task is too arduous, that it takes too much energy, it's too problematic for them to engage the issues and the culture, etc., and decide that they are going to absorb all of the freedoms and so forth for themselves. The very first generation that does that is the last generation that will know freedom in this country. And I wonder if this is going to be the generation that does that. If this is going to be the generation where freedom and liberty comes to an end in this country. And I really feel that it could be the last generation. And I think that we are living in a day and age in which if we as the people that are of age today do not stand up to the plate and do what needs to be done at whatever level God has given us to do it in, the situation for our children is very, very precarious at best. And so what I'm doing as far as I'm concerned is not for me, it's for my children, it's for my grandchildren, and providing them liberty. We have a medical doctor friend who is doing everything in his power to help us. He's doing everything he can financially. He's doing everything he can influentially and every other way to help us. And I was talking to him a couple days ago, and he's an elderly gentleman. He's up in his 80s, and he said, "You know, Chuck," he said, "if I leave my children and grandchildren nothing but money, if that's all I leave them for an inheritance," he said, "they're going to spend the money and it'll be gone." He said, "I don't want to leave my children simply money for an inheritance. I want to leave them freedom for an inheritance." And he said, "You are the man that will help preserve freedom in this country, and that's why I want you to win." And I got to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, those of us that are here with children and grandchildren, that is the attitude that we must begin to adopt for our own philosophy. Is we want to leave an inheritance of freedom and liberty for our children and for our children. And quite frankly, if we leave it to the 2 major parties, Republicans and Democrats, neither one of these parties is going to preserve the principles of liberty upon which our country was based. If we leave it to the Republicans and to the Democrats, our liberties are not soon left for this world. And I think you probably recognize that.